B-Boss, thank you for that brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. You think Burnaway is a decent sideboard? I don't actually know the Oracle text on Burnaway offhand. I subbed outside me out. We got you, B-Boss. I feel like I'm supposed to keep this. This deck mulligans well. I don't know. I get so many shots at a Dredger. There's only 2 Golgari Thugs in this deck, though. There's 4 Loams. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. This hand is much better. Exactly what we want, a second land there. Noble Hierarch, artwork optional. Temple Garden Noble Hierarch tells us that our opponent's likely not playing humans, probably a Vizier Devoted Druid style deck. Drawing Narcomoeba, gross. I think I'm actually going to bin the Bloodghast here, because I'd like to return that to play next turn. My 12-month resub will be a year anniversary gift for the burning stream filled with. Alright, so let's do this. Yeah, double Cathartic is pretty good here. Worth noting we haven't hit any of our big dredgers yet, but we get a lot of looks here, which is nice. I'm going to grab a Blood Crypt here, just in case we dredge into a Darkblast, because opponent missed their land drop here. So Darkblast is looking to be pretty decent. Discard 2 Loams. I'm going to go ahead and pop my hand out here. Oh, speaking of big dredgers, chat. Speaking of big, where are my amalgams at? Where are my amalgams at? We hit 1 in there. We hit 2 amalgams. That's exciting. That's exciting. All right, just no big deal. Turn 2. 9 power. We did hit a Darkblast here as well. So I'll probably... Someone, thanks for checking out Honey with my link. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Mirian Crusader is actually a little bit scary here. It gets to cut through my things. I think I want to dredge Darkblast here. And then I'm going to go ahead... Oh, that's a Scourge Devil. That might be good next turn. I'm going to go ahead and smush here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast Life from the Loam plus Darkblast. Me, Dixie. Thank you for checking out, Honey. You kids these days. You kids and your penis jokes. So I get to go ahead and cast Life from the Loam here. Get back City of Brass, Blood Crypt, and Wooded Foothills. I'm going to shock in this Blood Crypt, which will bring back the Bloodghast. Let's us Darkblast this Dorko. This Bloodghast is going to bring back a Prized Amalgam with it. And then next turn, we can either use Scourge Devil, or we can hopefully dredge into a copy of Conflagrate to clean the board up. How did Black White Chat finish? We went 3 and 2 highs. Alright, so Dredge, Golgari Thug give us the most chances to hit a thing. I guess I can Cathartic Reunion into a thing too here, right? I get, what, 13 looks at one? 15 looks? Yeah, and there's one. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. We get to bring these back with haste, too. So I need to do 4 to them. So I'm gonna go Conflagrate, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So red, discard my entire hand. Yeah, get out of here, Birds of Paradise. Speaking as someone who's played the Birds of Paradise side of this matchup a good deal, this is a bad matchup for Birds of Paradise. Alright, I'm going to sit down for a little bit for the next part of this league for starters. I'm not really sure how to sideboard here. This list is playing Shriekhorns as opposed to Insolent Neonates, and Insolent Neonate is usually my go-to cut. Is Scourge Devil a good trim here? I definitely want these axes and possibly the Collective Brutalities. At least one Thug is a fine cut. I feel like cutting 2 Thugs is too many. I like having at least 11 Dredgers. Never trim Devil. Why? I need you to explain yourself. I feel like I just want the axes. Oh, we have a sideboard guide? One Thug, one Shriekhorn. One Dakmor Salvage. Sure, that seems fine. We'll do that. Voice of Resurgence decks don't often play Rest in Peace. And especially while I'm up a game, I'm going to hedge on them just having Scavenging Ooze and not playing Rest in Peace. This is a pretty... Maybe, Justin? I don't know. I felt like I liked the access to... I liked having access to ramp with the approach. Half a year watching twice the speed. Keep up the great content. J-Robes, thanks for the 6 months and welcome back. This seems like not impressive, but it's fine at least. We get to kill their mana dork. They've mulliganed to 5 now. Yeah, Dredge has seen plenty of play off and on. Gonna bottom that Narcomoeba. Do not want to draw that one. Give me your Scavenging Ooze stacks, baby. Give me that sweet Scavenging Ooze. Show it to me. Show it to me. Rats. Ah, the old pay to discard Loam. Classic plays here. Auriok Champion, okay. That's an interesting one. I think I'm gonna pass the turn here because I think they're gonna give me something to Lightning Axe. mean, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Hopefully they play like Mirroring Crusader or something here. We just want them to not play Voice or another Auriok champion. Leon and Arbiter, sure. Wow, I was expecting them to Ghost Quarter me in response to that. If they Ghost Quartered me in response, I was definitely going to Axe it again so I didn't lose my land. This is a great hit here. We get to go ahead and flip this Narcomoeba out, which is going to get us this Prized Amalgam. And then we found another land in here along with the Bloodghast. I'm going to get to Loam back this land and put the land into play, which will give me the ability to flashback Faithless Looting next turn, which is nice. I mean, we don't know if they're necessarily bad. They could have 3 mana things in their hand, or they could have, like, a collected company and they want to work towards their 4th piece of their 4th mana. So, like, there's no guarantee that they should Ghost Quarter me, depending on, like, what else is in their hand. Do I upkeep Lightning Axe this? I feel like I do. I feel like I just upkeep Axe this. Although I guess I want to dredge the Loam anyways. I guess I just dredge the Loam anyways. So now I pick up this Copperline Gorge, and because we binned our copy of our Prized Amalgam, when this Bloodghast comes back, it's going to go ahead and bring a 3/3 friend with it, which is nice. If the Loam Dredge hit Narcomoeba, I would be able to flash or cast Lightning Axe in response, discarding the Amalgam in response to the Narcomoeba trigger, getting the Amalgam back. Two lands there is decent. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick those up. And then I just need to clear through their stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and Conflagrate this turn, I think. It's like 2 to this. Down to 14 here. This Auriok champion's done a lot of work this game. I don't have any answers to that in my sideboard, right? Just actual 0. Okay, just dredge Loam here. Loam back these 3. I'm going to flashback Faithless Looting at this point. I do have another Conflagrate in there. And I think I just want to flashback the Looting first. Next turn I can Conflagrate for extra. Like Dredge Stinkweed. Dredge Stinkweed. Touch these lands. Attack with this. So they have 4 mana now, so they have Collected Company online, which they're almost certainly a Collected Company deck, right? This kills us pretty fast. Alright, no plays. They're very unlucky, chat. No plays, very unlucky. I feel like we're getting close to dead here. I feel like I want to smash with everything here just so I can induce a collected company and then conflagrate the things that they put into play. So I'm going to go ahead and smash with everything here, I think. Yeah, Selfless Spear would be pretty bad for us. Interesting. Okay, so... I'm gonna flashback Faithless Looting then. Yeah, Narco's pretty good. It plays defense as well, which is nice. Cast this. I'm sad we didn't find a third Narcomoeba. Yeah, it depends on how good their company is here. We're also, like, running out of cards in our deck. There's only 12 cards left in my deck, so... if this company's good, we could just die here. 4-mana Loxodon Smiter. That one seems beatable. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Have I found my Scourge Devil yet? There is a Scourge Devil in there. Hey, diddle diddle. Hey, diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. This is the first match with this deck. First match with this deck. Game 2, we're up a game. This thing's up 3/3 at its base. That's pretty good. Path to Exile. Sure. Am I dead? 8-9? Almost. Jab Dude, thanks for checking out Honey. I appreciate it. Alright. I guess, Alright, well, 1-0 with Dredge. We're waiting for the second match to pop. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out here today. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. Hope you're having a great Tuesday wherever you're at in the world. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed full-time here. I really appreciate all of them. You can also support my stuff by supporting some of my wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards or cash direct with other players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee off the top. Inked Gaming would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. CoolStuffInc.com would love to buy and sell a lot of cool stuff with you, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anaronix, Justin Nivik, and all of y'all out there. I do appreciate everybody that's watching today. Remember, if you can't catch everything live, check out my YouTube channel as well. YouTube.com/Jeff Hoagland. You can catch 100% of my streams archived on there, and I break them up by deck so you can watch just the matches that you care about. Double Narcomoeba in the opener. How stinky. This thing's actually pretty good, right? I'm going to bottom that. Need a second land here, but pretty good otherwise. This could be a hand where we're on the play. If I draw a second land here, We might just turn 1 looting, ditch Bloodghast and Prized Amalgam, just like have 5 power on turn 2. I don't hate that opener a lot of the time. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, actually. And I can actually Shriekhorn mill myself before I put the land into place. We could potentially hit more Bloodghasts or Prized Amalgams here. Red. Smells like Punza. Alright, I guess I'm playing Cathartic Reunion now, though. It's also just like a tri-land. Like, it makes all 3 of our colors outside of making blue mana on occasion. Thanks for the sweet bot, Dan. All right, so we found 2 more Bloodghasts in there. I would imagine, I don't know, this is not my deck list. This is just card for card a deck list that somebody had sent in. That's great, Dan. The bot types people out now. That's glorious. So we have Conflagrate in the bin already. I'm going to dredge the Stinkweed Imp. The question becomes, do I want to Conflagrate and clear things out here, or do I want to Loam and get my Bloodghast back? Because I have 2 Bloodghasts in my bin, I think I'd rather Loam this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with these. Also, getting more lands into play is good in the event that they Molten Rain or Stone Rain us. And they traded with the Prized Amalgam there, which means I get to go ahead and do this. I don't think the bot can... I'm pretty sure the bot can't time out swords. Don't believe that is an option available. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that can time out swords. Alright, so I'm going to Shriekhorn myself here, because this way, if it hits a Prized Amalgam, the other Prized Amalgam is going to trigger it. We're hoping to dodge, like, main deck Anger of the Gods here. So we got a good amount of power in play here, and we get a Conflagrate set up for next turn, which is good for us. Yep, Liliana is still bugged. In other news, water's still wet. This is the rise of the machines. Just lost a tough ping pong match, so here's bits because logic. Yeah, of course Wall of Roots is still bugged. What do you think this is? So I'm going to grab these. God, Moto is having a real hard time here. So I get to do this, which floops Bloodghast back into play, and then I have a good clean 7 cards in my hand here, so I can Conflagrate them for the full 7 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this is very lethal. Got him. All right, so how do we want to board here? They usually have Scavenging Ooze in their deck, right? What kind of graveyard hate do we expect out of Ponza, basically, is the question. Normally it's anger from them. Yeah, that's true. So we definitely want the Thoughtseizes. The lack of Ancient Grudge, or the lack of Abrupt Decays in this sideboard is kind of annoying. I think we definitely want the Thoughtseizes. It's possible I want some copies of Lightning Axe as well. I think I'm going to trim Golgari Thug, a Dakmor Salvage. Actually, Salvage is probably important to keep against the Blood Moon deck. I'm going to trim some of these Shriekhorns. No, Wet Balls do not turn off Utopia Sprawl. You want to bring in 2 Axes and 2 Thoughtseizes. Trim some Shriekhorns and a Golgari Thug. Yeah, I think I like that. Thoughtseize is just good, like a generic card to bring in because it's good when they have their hate and it's decent when they don't have their hate, right? 'Cause you should like get to take their best card if they don't have a hate card. Awesome, Hansa, please. I had that turned off, Dan, because there was a couple of week time period where it just kept being super incorrect and like saying I was in events that I wasn't actually in. And it was really annoying explaining to people why it was wrong. Although it looks to be good right now. Opponent taking their good sweet time here in the play. Sounds good, Dan. Will do. I've got you. I'm in your Discord. Yeah, if it's possible for viewers to mouse over things in a paper setting, if they could do it for Magic Online cards, that would just be absurd. People have been working at, there's someone working on something like that for Magic Arena, and it would be wonderful if we could do it for Magic Online as well. What deck are we on currently? We are currently playing Dredge. We are up a game, but our opponent appears to be AFK at the moment. So we're playing Shriekhorn Dredge. Well, you could just do image recognition. I'd assume this is Nilla. It would have to be, because like that's how it works with paper Magic, right? It just like works, it works through image recognition. And I'd imagine it's easier to consistently recognize Magic Online images than like shady paper things. I think we're supposed to keep this. I think Shriekhorn enables us to keep hands like this. Buries 2 cards. Debating between Infect and Miracles. If you can stomach playing Miracles, I think the deck is really good, but I am not the type of person that can stomach playing Miracles. Really don't enjoy playing it. I got you, trustee. Lotus Cobra, that's interesting. What kind of decklist integration, Dan? Cobra's interesting. I wonder if they have Angers in their deck or not. I think Red-Black Reanimator is very good. I have yet to see a Blue-Black Reanimator list that I really like. Nihil Spellbomb. Are they splashing black? Because Terminus is a really great Magic card. So I'm actually going to keep counters on this since I hit life from the Loam here. Our goal is going to be to, like, get them to pull the trigger on this before there's too much with a middling amount in our bin. So the question now is, do I want to get them... Do I want to try and use Cathartic Reunion or Faithless Looting to get them to pull the trigger on this? I think I'd rather use Cathartic Reunion. What do I think about Neonate versus Shriekhorn? This is only our second match with Shriekhorns. I do know that this hand that we kept probably wouldn't have been keepable if this Shriekhorn had been a Neonate, so that's like something worth thinking about. Oh, there was a Stinkweed in here. I shouldn't have discarded the Loam, most likely. Wow, that's actually pretty unfortunate here. We had 0 amalgams in there. I guess I hit a Bloodghast at least, though. I think Big Red will fare in Legacy. Now, if Miracles comes back to being one of the better decks in Legacy, then Big Red gets a lot better. When Big Red was very reasonable, it was because it had a very strong Miracles matchup. That would be awesome, Dan. All right, so I'm going to dredge my other Loam here, almost certainly. I'm going to put this Foothills into play and get my Bloodghast. Because they want to Spellbomb us in response here, I can fetch and get the Bloodghast still. Yeah, you get to keep just Shriekhorn, basically. Make black mana, makes red. Okay, so they're spellbombing us in response here, which is not unreasonable, because like we have a pretty full graveyard at this point. But in response to this, I'm going to get to go ahead and crack this fetch land. Which lets me get the Bloodghast back in response here, which is nice. And then I'm actually going to get to start dredging again right away, because I get to go ahead and cast this Life from the Loam, just like pay 2 and discard it from my hand, basically. And then I get to cast Faithless Looting immediately to get going again. So half my deck is gone, but worth noting that I actually haven't found any Prized Amalgams yet. So there's still 4 Amalgams in the bottom 29 cards we have here. Yeah, this is like absurdly good for us. We had a second Narcomoeba here too, and Amalgam. So there's 3 Amalgams in our bottom 21 cards at this point. They're probably going to need another piece of graveyard hate, honestly. Are probably going to push through. Does milling out ever become an issue? Occasionally, when you are playing longer matches, milling out does become an issue. Okay, so Lotus Cobra plus Besage You. They're probably playing... They must be playing some kind of like Tooth and Nail deck or something of the sort. I'm going to dredge a Stinkweed Imp here. That's Trips Amalgam. Well then. I think I need to kill this, right? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could get them 6, 7, 8 mana next turn. I think I've got enough power in play that I'm just supposed to, like, take this and point it here for 1. The opponent's playing, I think it's some kind of Tooth and Nail or Plow Under deck. I imagine there's got to be a combo of some sort hiding in there. They looked like Ponza in game 1, but they definitely don't look like that anymore. So there's still 2 copies of Narcomoeba in my 16 cards here. So during their second main phase, I'm going to Shriekhorn myself. Just do it now even. Sweet. All right, so they are super dead now. So this comes into play and it's going to bring 3 amalgams with it. It's a concession lockup. Did you know that I could play music on my computer? I could hear both you and the music. I agree. Warp World. Alrighty, that is fun fact. One of my favorite casual decks of all time. It was a Warp World deck. That is okay. Color me intrigued. Our Dredge is doing what Dredge does though, and we actually beat a Nile Spellbomb that game. So that's pretty impressive. You can definitely beat cards like Nile Spellbomb and Tormod's Crypt pretty easily a lot of games. It's the big guns like Rest in Peace and Leyline of the Void that really stick it to you. That's true. We haven't done a Warp World deck before. It does seem like something we could slot into a Meme Monday very easily. I would definitely be willing to build a Warp World deck for a donation. There's memes we haven't done? Oh no. Huh. This is close. So lands, dredgers, Cathartic Reunion is usually pretty good, but Narcomoeba in the opener really sucks. I think I'm gonna keep this, but I definitely wouldn't fault anyone for throwing it back. I think you probably, in straight blue-white control with no splash, you probably want 2 of each Eladox. In Jeskai, I think you don't want Teferi. I think Teferi's much worse in I'm sorry, you don't want Jace in Jeskai. I think Jace is much worse in Jeskai, but in straight blue-white, you probably want at least 2 of each. How much for me to build a deck and play through the freeze? For a $50 donation, I would build the deck myself. That's the donation requirement to add something during the freeze here. I'm gonna feel really bad when we get soft stubbed here, but I'm pretty sure I just need to do this. Nah, I don't think so. Ding. The upside is so high if they don't have it. We flipped over a Faithless Looting there too. Glimpse the Unthinkable and Shriekhorn are very, very different. Get to Dredge Stinkweed Imp here. I get to play this land. I get to flash back this Faithless Looting. Remember, if you're still interested in adding new decks to the queue during the freeze, tier 3 subs and $50+ donations can still add new decks because, well, I like money and I need to pay my bills. But hopefully, I'm thinking the start of next month, the start of August, will probably be through enough to put them back to the normal $10 donation decks. Yeah, the opponent looks like they're on Grixis Shadow, which, historically speaking, Grixis Shadow is a very good matchup for Dredge. Grixis Shadow generally has a hard time with decks that go wide like this. This is basically a go wide aggro deck. We have Conflagrates to burn them out too, which is very good. Yeah, Bob, when I froze it at the end of... When I froze it about 9 days ago, there were almost 90 decks in it. Population 0 with the $50 donation. Warp World, please. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm going to save that one for Monday, okay? So, it'll probably be close-ish to the top of the queue, but I feel like that's the perfect one to save for our next meme Monday. Yeah, usually they need Battle Rage to break through. All right, here's a question. Do I play around... Sounds good, Pop. I appreciate the support, by the way. Do I play around a third Street Wraith here? I'm not sure. I guess I could play around Lightning Bolting themselves, too. Am I supposed to deal 5 to this thing? I'm supposed to deal 5 to this thing, right? I feel like I send 5 here. Just, like, guaranteed get it off the table. Yeah, I think so. I feel like if I kill this, they, like, really can't win the game. I guess they could have Street Wraith into Stub. Oh, Dismember. Shit. God, I thought about so many things, chat. And Dismember wasn't on my radar. Well, I guess they're obligated to block here, huh? They're obligated to block. Oh, crap. I could have brought back Bloodghast with haste. Crap. That was just super loose. I think I only have one Bloodghast in here anyways. I only have one. All right. Well, dead to Battle Rage. It's underneath the stream, Nicholas. It's a panel under the stream. Bloodghast can't block, chat. Oh, they always have it. So I was supposed to play around Dismember. I should have discarded one more card. God, I thought through all the things too. I thought about Street Wraith, and then I was like, oh, they can bolt themselves, and then I forgot about Dismember as a way to give it +4/+4. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I feel like Dredge was capable of winning that game. And I was not. Should I have just 6'd their face? Possibly. If I just like sent everything upstairs, I could have 7'd their face plus killed their Snapcaster. Yeah, that probably could have been lethal. Yeah, I think I had a couple different things I could have done with my Conflagrate, and I just didn't do any of them. This is definitely a Lightning Axe matchup. Darkblast is pretty rancid here. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely what should have happened. He definitely punted that game. My opponent, and that game is a very good example of like why it can be difficult for people to improve at Magic. Like, it's very easy to focus on that game as, gosh, my opponent was so lucky. They had the Dismember, and they had the Teamer Battle Rage, and they killed me for exactly lethal. When in reality, while my opponent was fortunate to have those things, I also could have played better to make it so them having those things didn't matter. The key to becoming a better Magic player and improving your game is you need to focus on the things that are within your control. And I can't control that my opponent has Dismember and Battle Rage, but I can control the decisions that I made with my Conflagrate in a couple of different ways that pretty much all would have led to me being successful that game. And while you're not always going to be able to make a better play, a lot of the time you can. Enjoy my pair of Cathartic Reunions. Get ya. This hand is very good that we have. Hopefully we hit an Amalgam or two here. Let's pop this bad boy out. We're going to be using it a lot here in a second. That one, please. Ooh, we actually bricked on drawing another Dredger, huh? That's a little awkward. So, hopefully this Cathartic Reunion finds a Dredger in the top 4. Ding. Alright, no Amalgams, though. So, in terms of being able to flip our deck over, this hand was a pretty aggressive to start, but in terms of, like, having meaningful cards in the top half of our deck here, kind of medium. It's a Delve Threat here. Yeah, the top 25 cards of our deck here were pretty mediocre. If they put a Delve creature into play here, I'm probably just going to Dredge and then Conflagrate it. Yeah, it really is, Nicholas. It was really awesome that someone offered to do that. So do I just Conflag here? Alternatively, I could smack them and then, like, Faithless Looting. I guess I could smack them, they block, I make a land drop, and then I only have to Conflag it for 3. Yeah, I do have 2 Conflagrates, so I have extras left over. I don't really have any large Dredgers in my discard. Actually, am I out of Dredgers? I actually don't have any Dredgers in my discard pile, so flashing back Faithless Looting seems really bad. I could cast Stinkweed Imp as well. Casting Stinkweed Imp is actually pretty good in this matchup on average. Alright, so then I'm going to fetch a tapped land here. What's going on, Average Bloom? Yeah, I think we're just casting Impure. Do I want to just bring... I hit 2 Bloodghast there. I guess if I do that, I'm dead to... If I attack with these, I'm dead to Battle Rage. I feel like we're always dead to Battle Rage. Yeah, that loses the stub, though. Just gonna attack like this. Nug him to 6, that way I'm not dead to Battle Rage. And then next turn I can Dredge Loam plus Conflagrate and attack for lethal. I also just have lethal just by attacking next turn, right? Like they block here and then they take 6. So I need to have removal plus Stubborn Denial here. Yeah, I don't really have lines to play around Dismember plus Battle Rage. So they have Snap Scour. So they're dead to this Conflagrate then? Sweet. So they should just be dead then. Unless they have a Surgical Extraction for our Conflagrate here. Poke you. Nug you for one. Alright, so we know Surgical looks to be their graveyard hate of choice. I think that still just leaves me with where I'm at. I don't think I want to board in Thoughtseizes here. Well, I could see Thoughtseize being okay to come in, but maybe on the draw it's better. It seems like not exciting, but it's fine. Second Dredger's decent. We're gonna feel a little bit bad when they stub us, but I think that's fine. They milled Steam Vents and Blood Crypt. This is good for us. It means we're not going to get stubbed this turn. So this is a big fish, yep. Real big fish, chat. We actually could get in a little bit of trouble here if they... How do we feel about not discarding... No, I'm going to discard both thugs. We could get in a little bit of trouble here if they had Surgical Extraction. These are some pretty good... Pretty decent dredges here. Yep, that's 6 power on 2, which is not bad. We got a Bloodghast in there too, which is decent. What do you think about Silent Gravestone in the sideboard of Dredge? I think a lot of the... I think there's less Surgical Extractions in Modern and more copies of cards like Rest in Peace and Nihil Spellbomb and Leyline of the Void, which makes those cards worse on average. So I think in Legacy Dredge, Silent Gravestone is pretty reasonable because there's a ton of Surgical Extractions in Legacy, but I think as far as Modern goes, I'd rather not play it. And Relic, yep. I think the most popular graveyard hate in this format, by and large, doesn't give a care about Silent Gravestone. Silent Gravestone is very powerful against Justin. It was also very good against Deathrite Shaman. You are not wrong. Dredge a Thug. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and Reunion here. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and ditch the Scourge Devil here because I'd kind of like to floop the Scourge Devil into play next turn, potentially. We did run out of Dredgers there because of that decision, but I think that's fine. I have a Bloodghast in here already. How do we feel about leaving a Narcomoeba back here? It's probably fine. This puts them to 10. I'm just going to put them to 10 here. Leave this back to gain 5 potentially. With the Scourge Devil next turn, we should be able to put them firmly in the ground. They get to like block 2 of these and we hit them for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, then plus the Scourge Devils, who are cracking in for like 20 next turn. The Scourge Devil's been like super reasonable. I don't know if these Shriekhorns are good or not. I don't know if they're better than Insolent Neonate, but the one of Scourge Devil has been like super great all league. I can have double Shadow here, I guess. The fact that this card plays around Stubborn Denial is also great as well. So they kill one, they block two, they still die. Sweet. 3-0 start with Dredge. Not running into any of those pesky sideboard cards. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Getting him, getting him, getting him. After this league gets on, we got 2 more matches with Dredge. We're going to play some Landfall aggro to wrap up the day. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And a pretty good run today. We went 4-1 with Bant Approach. We went 3-2 with Chad Tribal, and we're 3-0 with Dredge now. No, it's fine. Every deck's a 3-2 deck. I never expect to win more than 3 matches, Chad. It's not a big deal. It's a version of Landfall. Yeah, the Landfall aggro that's on the docket is my deck list. Can you show the Bant Approach list? You'll be able to find it on YouTube later, and if you click into my Stream Decker, you'll be able to find it there as well. Have you ever gone 5-0, and if so, how often? We had like 11 5-0s last season. I don't actually know how long a season is on Magic Online. Do we have any this season? I think we have 1 or 2. I actually don't remember. I did see the new Hearthstone teaser. That was great. We can do better. Dredge usually mulligans pretty well. This seems very good for the second land. Bottom and on land. You mean Chad Tribal? I don't even know if that technically qualifies as a tribal deck. Kinda, maybe. Ew. If you could never... This deck would be so much better if you could never draw Narcomoeba. That being said, Birds of Paradise decks tend to be good matchups for Dredge overall. If we had a second land tier on 2, we should be in a pretty good spot. Until they, like, play turn 2 Scavenging Ooze here. Second basic forest. Panza? Green Devotion? Smells like Green Devotion? Yeah, looks like Green Devotion. Yeah, we've had a few 5-0s in our time. I don't know, I don't really keep track of them. We concede a lot of matches on here for Life EV. My goal isn't to win matches of Magic, it's to like play sweet games and make good content. So he says. Well, Faithless Looting was like our best non-land draw here, so we've got that going for us. If we don't draw a land with this, I'm probably going to concede. We did, however, draw a land. I'm actually going to ditch Stinkweed plus Prized Amalgam here, I think. Getting the Prized Amalgam into the bin is good. I guess maybe, actually, I'm supposed to... I think I messed up there, and I'm supposed to cast this Conflagrate for 0, so I could have it in my discard pile. pretty good chance we're dead here. Alright. I think I want Lightning Axes and Thoughtseizes here. Work. Yep, Tireless Tracker is very, very good. Very, very good. And then I realize I'm dumb. All the music on Twitch streams can be the music you want to listen to if you just watch Twitch streams without music and listen to your own music in the background. It's like a life hack, really. It's like a life hack, really. How can I defeat Surgical Extraction post sideboard with Dredge? You should play a bunch of Thoughtseizes. Play a bunch of copies of Thoughtseize. If you're expecting a lot of Surgical Extraction, Thoughtseize is your best friend. Is this hand good enough? I feel like this hand's not good enough. I'm gonna keep this. Top of Dredger. Jeff should really work for BuzzFeed. The problem with working for BuzzFeed is that when I write articles, I like to be paid for writing them. All right, so we found another Prized Amalgam here. Hopefully we find a Bloodghast or a Narcomoeba here. That's really unfortunate. I think I'm going to play this Conflagrate for 0. If we would have hit a Bloodghast or a Narcomoeba in the top 16 cards of our deck, this hand would have been absurd with all these amalgams, but if they have a piece of graveyard hate here, I mentioned you can sometimes play through graveyard hate with this deck. This is not one of those hands. So like if they have like a Scavenging Ooze here, they're probably going to bury us pretty deep in the ground. Yeah. I think we're dead. That's just how this goes. I actually really like Dredge as a deck. I think it's got a lot of really sweet moving parts and generates a lot of pretty interesting games, but I could just never take a deck like this to a tournament where I'm just like never going to be able to do anything against a lot of their sideboard cards. Well on our way to a 3-2. Slide right on in there, grab that chesty. Yeah, I think so, Bilbo. I think if you got rid of the 1-mana discard in Modern, they'd have to resculpt the format a little bit. Have chest prices improved? I actually don't know yet. I thought they were supposed to get better with M19, but GoatBots hasn't updated their prices yet. Last I checked. Oh, did they? Nope, they're still 2.2. So the answer to your question is no. I still have 100 chests and have not sold them yet. I mean, this hand is great, so we're going to keep it. Battle Bond should be in chests now, right? I think someone said Caleb was playing 8 Rector the other night, which means Battle Bond should exist now. I think the games where you're trying to cast your blue cards, you're probably losing anyways, so you probably shouldn't worry about that. Maybe chest prices just aren't going to go up. Thinking of breaking into Magic Online, any advice for an experienced paper Magic player? Just pick a deck you enjoy playing and buy into it. Playing Constructed is the most efficient way to play Magic Online. If you enjoy playing Limited, I don't really have any tips or tricks, but like even playing the plethora of medium minus decks that I play on stream, we play some good decks on occasion, but a lot of the things we play are pretty bad. I still end up breaking even mostly on Magic Online tickets. I put like at most like $20 to $25 a month in it. This Darkblast is probably going to be pretty good. These Conflags as well. God, this fucking Narcomoebas. They're so brutal. I think I just passed back here, right? I could looting on 1. I'm just going to pass back. Although I guess I need to draw land, huh? Maybe I'm supposed to looting because I need to draw land anyways. It's possible I should hold this too in case they have Steel Overseer. Whew. We got there, chat. We got there. And by got there, I mean this thing's still going to go off and do stuff to us. I didn't dredge Darkblast and kill the Steel Overseer because I don't have another land. And I need another land to actually play Magic here. I'm not going to actually be able to play a game if I don't have a second land. You need two lands to function. Any tips on fire construction? Well, paper money is actually an accelerant, so it works out pretty well for you. I think we're pretty dead here. I usually use GoatBots because they have the highest prices consistently. Man, this sideboard. I feel like I can't board all of these, and it's probably like 5 of these at most. Do something like this, perhaps. I could see fitting the Last Nature's Claim in, but 5 pieces is probably fine, especially with Darkblast. Yeah, I think it is, Burgle. I think their linear draws are better than our linear draws on average. We really need to be able to take things like plating off the table consistently. Dredge, I feel like mid-range and control players have this idea that Dredge is more linear than it actually is. A lot of Dredge's worst matchups in Modern are linear decks because this is not a fast linear deck in comparison to the fast linear decks that are good in Modern. This deck on average is a lot slower than most of those others. This hand is absurd. It could use a second Dredger, but like this, it's pretty good here. We're gonna go fetch old Stomping Grounds here and cast this Faithless Looting on one. These Narcomoebas, chat. Let me tell you about Narcomoebas. Let me tell you a story about the man who drew more Narcomoebas than anyone else. Wow, we milled an Ancient Grudge too. All right. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. All right, 7 power, some Ancient Grudges. This is a real strong one here. Oh no. Oh no, chat. Why do they have Rest in Peace in their deck, chat? Why do they have Rest in Peace in their deck, chat? Who put that card in their deck? Why would you do that, opponent? You're a monster! You're a monster! It's fine. We've got 7 power in play here. And, like, I've got this Ancient Grudge. So, like, we definitely could be in a worse spot right now. I think I'm going to start by attacking here and see what they do. They don't really have good blocks, right? I think I just cast the Stinkweed Imp, right? I'm aware that modular doesn't work. I know how magic works. Sure. Yeah, modular explicitly says it happens when the creature dies. So they can still sacrifice artifacts to make their things bigger, but they're in a pretty bad spot here. I've often heard Modern is all about sideboards. What if both players draw their sideboard cards? Then what happens, chat? What happens when both players draw their sideboard cards? When sideboard cards attack? Oh no! Oh no, chat, they have a 4/4. How do we ever beat a 4/4? If we draw an untapped land, we kill them with Conflagrate. I probably should have checked to make sure there was a fetchable land in my deck before I did that, huh? I'm just gonna pass the turn back here. How does one give bits? Once you purchase bits, you just type cheer in chat with followed by a number. And then the number you type after your cheer is the number of bits that you send. Bloodghast wasn't lethal, right? They have 2 blockers. Thank you for the bits, I fruit. No exclamation point and the number together. I would love it if I could deal 2 points of damage to you, opponent. The fairest Conflagrate that's ever been cast in Modern. The fairest Conflagrate that's ever been cast in Modern. Right there. They have Rest in Peace. Do I want this last Nature's Claim? I kind of feel like I want this last Nature's Claim. What do we think? Hi, waifu.
This basement is ridiculous. Did you show Chad what you've done to my home?
Do you want to see what Declan did to my basement, chat? She says I did it, but it was actually the 3-year-old, okay? This is the 3-year-old's fault. This is the 3-year-old found my box of bulk magic cards from in the garage, and this is what 3-year-olds do with bulk magic cards.
They're all basic lands. Do you want any of the things in my basket?
Any of the things in your basket? Gosh, you brought me choices too. My wife brought me pizza and accessories for the pizza.
Pizza and pizza accessories.
Pizza accessories. Chipotle ranch? That sounds great. You're the best. I'm out of cash though, so I can't tip you right now.
Here, you can just have this roll. Yours is empty. There's more.
Thank you. You're the best, honey.
I know I am.
Do I want this last Nature's Claim?
The cards are sticking to my feet when I walk
They
over.
do. I think I want the last Nature's Claim with Rest in Peace in their deck. Is your wife single? Oh, internet. I'm gonna mute while I eat some pizza here. Is this the low end of keepable because it has a claim in it? I feel like it is, right? I think I keep this, and this is just a move to hand size discard. I'm like not excited about this, but like if we draw Faithless Looting, it's absurd. Or otherwise we can just move to hand size. Yeah, I'm just gonna move to hand size. Loke with the brand new Twitch Prime. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. I'm pretty obligated to kill this, right? This card just kills us way too fast otherwise. Puddle Jumper, thank you for the bits. Welcome. All right, so our hand is pretty medium right now. Pineapple on pizza is great. I think I want this Darkblast. Hopefully we hit an Ancient Grudge here. We did not. I think I just need to Conflagrate for 0 to set up for next turn. We had a good run, chat. We had a good run. 3-0 into 3-2. I'm sure he just checked off some bingo spaces for some people out there. I don't know if I have any specifics on this. I think I'd have to play more games with the Shriekhorn versus an unit to get a good feel for it. I do know Scourge Devil felt good multiple times. I think regardless of what your other 1-mana enabler is here, you should definitely consider Scourge Devil somewhere in your 75. I think you gain a lot of percentage points having access to this card. It's going to allow you to win games from positions that you basically have no business winning.